sommes dans un pays.
We live in a country where people have been so oppressed for more than 40 years that they ended up believing that they had no more rights. The biggest need is the supply of medicines, the surgical equipment, and the infrastructure.
We need pens, notebooks, backpacks, uniforms, and shoes.
Formerly known as Zaire, the Congo has the third largest population in Africa, with more than 62 million inhabitants. During this video, you will meet people who are making a difference in one of the largest Catholic dioceses in the Congo, the Tshumbe Diocese in the Sankuru region. The Tshumbe Diocese is home to 930,000 Congolese. Nearly 28% are Catholic. People of this diocese are surrounded by the ravages of war, bombed out buildings, dilapidated homes, and impassable roadways. The scars of war are not easily healed in the hearts and minds of people from this area. Only recovery can take place here. You'll see the difference that the Congolese are making right now and how you can help make a difference.
Je m'appelle Martine Berger.
My name is Martine Berger. I am French and I work with a French Catholic NGO that is called Services of Cooperation for Development. At the Loja Orphanage, I work for the Tshumbe Diocese. When a mother dies during delivery, people bring the baby to the orphanage, and the nuns have a hard time refusing to take him or her. Also, when people find an orphan in the village, they bring him or her to the orphanage, and when there is no family, it is difficult to refuse the child. In Loja, our main concern is the space restriction. The children are 2 per bed, and the bedrooms are small, but we do our best for them to be at ease. The orphanage is a family, and the kids consider a new child like a brother or sister. The biggest difficulty is that an orphanage does not produce anything, but does spend a lot.
We had to work hard to make them feel at home and reconciliate them with others. Today, they know we are family. They know how to share now. We tell them that they are home and that all we have here is theirs. They can't be sad anymore.
Once the year is over, we have to wait to see if we will be granted an extra year of funding. And putting a question mark on the forehead of these children is very difficult.
Education is the base of a durable development. Without the church, I think that the education system would have disappeared in this region. Children in some parts of the country do not have access to schools. It is possible to travel 30 kilometers without finding a single school. How can little children walk so far to go to school? The schools have been destroyed by war. Some do not exist anymore. What we have to do now is rehabilitate the buildings, reinforce the institutional level, train the education staff before thinking about building new schools. The church is our partner and plays a big role in developing the idea that girls have to go to school. They want an education system based on equity.
There are 70 students in my classroom. We do not have enough benches. There are at least 4 girls per bench. This situation is complicated when it comes to correcting papers and keeping order in the classroom. Some girls want to study, but they do not have the money to do so. To be able to go to school, they have to sell things in the market, sell roots, cassava, meats, etc., in order to find money to pay for their school. So, a lot of girls stay at home.
Although schools are being restored, the need is still great. These efforts only reach a small population of the area, which is already dealing with overcrowded schools. Not only is the lack of schools an issue, but the number of students and who is able to attend also proves to be a challenge here. It's not a hopeless situation for all young girls living in this area. Some improvements have been made and have had a positive influence on some students.
Why do you like to go to school?
Because I want to become famous.
What does that mean, to be famous?
To be famous, like a nun, a school director, or a doctor. There is a big difference between the one who studies and the one who doesn't. It is easier to establish the difference between right and wrong. School gives hope and ways to succeed.
Native du Sankuru.
I am asking everyone, with a little bit of goodwill, to help us increase the quality of the education system in the Sankuru region. We are currently managing 4 hospitals and 12 health centers. Hundreds are waiting to be rebuilt. The health center is very important because it regroups sanitary communities. That is why we rebuild them as much as we can.
Les cas pour lesquels l'hôpital.
There are cases that the hospital can handle and others that the hospital cannot due to technical problems. We do not have the capacity to do X-rays or ultrasounds. The biggest need remains the medicines. When we operate on a patient and we plan to operate on another, water becomes essential to clean and disinfect the room. To do so, women have to go to the source to fetch water and return with it. To resume, we have the surgical equipment, but we do not have water, medicines, or electricity, so we don't have the necessary light. Malaria is the most common sickness in this health zone, as well as acute respiratory infections in children. We do not have enough medicines at the hospital and not enough equipment. Emergencies that need specific medicines cannot be handled here.
There are several hurdles to overcome during the rebuilding process of health centers in Tshumbe. Finding the resources to buy medicines and establishing preventative measures to combat diseases in the Congo is difficult. There is an overwhelming need for facilities, but if and when more facilities come on board, more staff and staff training is needed.
Avec l'appui de CRC,
with the help of Catholic Relief Services, we have organized a few trainings. We trained people on supervision, mostly nurses. We have trained the staff in lab techniques. We trained people how to handle medicines, but we need to do more. We have to think about additional classes now.
But there are hopeful signs that the existing centers are fulfilling a need. Patients will travel a number of days to get to a facility to receive the much-needed care that they deserve.
I would have died if the health center was not here. The sickness was too complex for the traditional doctors we usually use in the village. So yes, we need more health centers in this region especially.
These are only a few areas where help is needed in Tshumbe. Like other areas throughout the Congo, there is a hopeful feeling among the Congolese people, a feeling that their lives are improving. Their hope is based on the generosity and compassion of people like you. You have always responded to the cries of God's most vulnerable children. It's very clear we need your help, again and soon. You'll be surprised by how far your heart can reach.
This region is at the heart of the Congo, and some